Julius Abure, the former chairman of Labour Party, has once again lost at the Federal High Court after losing at the Supreme Court back in April, where the Supreme Court said that his tenure has expired. He refused to abide by that judgment. He kept twisting it just to continue enjoying the trappings of office as the chairman of Labour Party. At the Federal High Court, the court threw away his argument, reiterating the same thing the Supreme Court said, that he is no longer the chairman of Labour Party, that he is an interloper who is meddling in the affairs of the Labour Party. He challenged INEC at the court for derecognizing him and his co-interlopers, and also the fact that INEC threw away all the candidates Labour Party-led executives submitted to INEC for today's by-elections. Imagine how the candidates will be feeling right now. Election they should have been participating in today, but they are no longer on the ballot simply because they patronized Abure. These were the people that kept Abure going. They kept him fighting for the leadership. If people refuse to patronize him, if people fail to recognize him as the chairman of the party, all these years he's been claiming he's the chairman, then at a point he will say, no need fighting further. Even the money will stop coming because all the people contesting and patronizing him, they bring in money, they bring in revenue, and he's been surviving on that revenue. People should learn that once there's a problem of leadership in a political party, you do not patronize any of them because this is Nigeria. You don't know which party will eventually win. So it's better to avoid the party. That will even make the parties to come together and solve the problem because they will see that nobody is patronizing their party. They can't attract new candidates. They can't even attract new members. So this should be a lesson for everyone, not just Abure and co, if not for his selfish reasons. And also, it wasn't as if the Supreme Court judgment wasn't clear enough, but he kept twisting it just to suit his narrative, so that he will continue in office as the chairman of Labour Party. Abure will always claim, I've been in Labour Party since the formation years, no one can chase me from Labour Party, I've been this, I've been that. The problem has always been that he sees P2B and his followers as passengers he boarded on a bus and took them to a destination. But he doesn't know that P2B and his followers were the oil that oiled the engine of the bus before the bus was able to reach to the destination. Without the oil, the engine wouldn't have been able to start, not to talk of running, not to even talk of driving to the destination. So if he understands that these people were the oil he used to run the engine of the bus, then he must understand that he shouldn't have held that convention he held in Nenadi. He should have called them, yes, come here. You people are the oil that is used in oiling the engine of Labour Party. Now we have to have a new convention. Let's talk together, let's reason together on how we will go about the convention. If he had done that, if he had accommodated all the new members of Labour Party that brought Labour Party to limelight in 2023 presidential election, there wouldn't have been any problems, even if he ended up not being the chairman of Labour Party after the convention. But the way he handled everything, they have now lost out completely because INEC, boldly derecognizing him and his co-conspirators, including the highest court in the land, had declared that his tenure ended long ago. He has no leverage anymore to play any card to negotiate anything. No, he has lost out completely. This is what happens to a very selfish, greedy person. If he had negotiated and brought these people together and said, hey, let us work together, let us go and do this convention. How can you just feel, I was here before P2B and his group came, so I will be here and they will leave. Let's even leave the influence of maybe APC and Tinubu and others. He himself is not a nice person. Because if he were a nice person, he wouldn't take money to betray his country, not to talk of betraying his fellow party members. Yes, that's the reality. Because there reaches a point where you will say, this is not about money. This is about principle. This is about patriotism. This is about everything to me. That's what a reasonable person will do. But when you are after yourself, everything has to start with you and end with you, then it never ends well. Maybe, like already said, you can't shame the shameless. Who knows what he will come up with tomorrow? A political party doesn't work that way. It's not a personal business. It's not a personal enterprise. Soldier go, soldier come, like it is said in Nigerian local parlance. You cannot be there forever. It can never work. Your own time will come and it will pass. The time of another person will also come, that time will also pass, and it's always nice to leave when the ovation is loudest. Yes, a reasonable person would have left after the 2023 presidential election because P2B, Labour Party, and his followers did the unthinkable. They did the unimaginable. It was literally a miracle what they did. The person would have said, okay, we did our best, but the powers that be refused and denied us our mandate. Now, let another person try for the next time. That's in 2027. But because he is a political jobber, he's someone that lives off politics, he doesn't have a career besides politics, he stood his ground. He kept resisting all efforts to remove him as the chairman of Labour Party, even after the highest court in the land, the Supreme Court, declared his seat vacant. He still obstinately insisted that he's still the chairman of Labour Party, parading himself shamelessly. So you can understand what we are talking about here. If someone doesn't have shame at that level, he's been declared an illegal chairman, but somehow he kept parading himself as the chairman of Labour Party. Can you imagine that? How can you lead people who don't want you? You want to be chairman of Labour Party, and the Labour Party members have said no, you are not the chairman. Nearly all the elected House of Assembly members and Reps members of Labour Party, including senators, said no to you. How can you lead people who have said no to you? It doesn't make any sense. Leadership, is it by force? How can you continue parading yourself as chairman when people you want to lead have said no to you? Even if you are just 1 month into your tenure as chairman and people say no to you, that means a vote of no confidence on your chairmanship, on your leadership. Are you not so ashamed of yourself that you cannot leave the position out of frustration, out of personal conviction, out of principle that the people you are leading have voted against you? This is simple. If you want to be chairman of an organization and the members of the organization, especially the members that matter, say no to you, what else are you doing? Are you not ashamed of yourself? On top of that, they went to court, won you in court, and you kept obstinately insisting that you are still the chairman. Now, let's see how the interim national chairman of Labour Party, Senator Nenadi Usman, received the news. In a long post she made on her verified X handle, she said, I received this profound relief and deep satisfaction. The news of the judgment of the Federal High Court, Abuja, in suit number this and that, which today dismissed in its entirety the case instituted by Mr. Julius Abure against the Independent National Electoral Commission. This decision stands as yet another unambiguous and authoritative affirmation of the rule of law and the judiciary's steadfast consistency in upholding the binding pronouncements of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. In the end, there's a lot of things she said, blah blah blah. She called on everyone to unite and join in building the party. That is how to show leadership in situations like this. She didn't go out celebrating the loss of Abure or mocking him. She still extended a hand of fellowship to them to come together to join her, especially now that she will be planning the convention. They haven't fixed a date yet. They will conduct a national convention where new leaders of Labour Party will emerge. Obviously, the new chairman of Labour Party will not be Julius Abure. Now, some updates from the by-election holding today across Nigeria. APC members are openly calling on INEC to cancel the elections in Kano State. How can it be possible that the ruling party, that people who spread narratives are already saying that 2027 elections have been concluded, that they've written all the results? How can it be that the people in power, the party in power, are the ones calling for elections to be cancelled? The reason is simple. You can look at the results coming out from Kano State. NNPP guys are not allowing anyone to rig the election. People should stop giving up easily. You know someone is coming to rob you, you leave your house open and run away and make it easy for him to come and rob you. No, don't give up without fighting. At least put up a fight to the little effort you can. Everything surrounding you in your life is determined by politicians. Yes, from that food you eat, from the bus you take to work, from the car you ride, from the petrol you buy, from everything, house rent, name it. If you know that all these are decided by politicians, that politicians are the reason you are poor, that politicians have devalued the naira, rendering you poorer than you were before they came to power, If you know all this, why wouldn't you sacrifice one day and defend your votes? You should make them understand that rigging election is very dangerous to their lives. If you stand your ground, they will run away. They will say, these people are not smiling. Nigerians are wiser now. No one is going to rig an election and go home free. They will run away. So this is what is happening in Kano. They have made it very clear to them that they will not allow them to rig the election. That they are not popular. The reason they are arrogant and lying to Nigerians that things are working while they live in affluence, wasting our money, is simply because they hope that day they will come and rig the election and you do nothing about it. You need to tell them, no, you won't rig that election, that we are ready to die. And they will run away. You will see that they even like life more than ordinary Nigerians, because people who are stealing money from you, if they don't like life, why would they steal money? They will manage in poverty till they die. Thanks for watching.